Hey guys, my name is Chantel. Welcome back to my channel, and we are here to talk about episode 24 of Fruits Basket Season 2. I felt like I said that backwards, but whatever, we're gonna roll with it. This was interesting because I thought it was just gonna be all about Machi based on the title,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. It was a mixture of like a bunch of things.
We got more info on Machi because we finally got her alone, where
Yeah,
she's by herself and you get to see how she lives. So she lives by herself. She doesn't live with her mom. She lives on her own. It's a little one room apartment place. It kind of reminds me of the room I had when I went to London. That's how big my room was. It was as big as that room
yeah. The
closet.
thing that I noticed was like her broken window, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck just. But then again, after what she did at school, I was like,
Yeah,
that shouldn't really
her
surprise
room's
me.
really messy, and there's just clothes everywhere and books and her homework and trash bags everywhere.
It's just as messy as Yuki's.
Right?
Because I'm a messy person.
Yeah, so my room is a mess.
But I don't think I can live like that, man.
Oh no, I couldn't either. Trash bags, I would need to throw those away immediately. I don't mind having clothes all over the place because that's how my room is. Because I'm the only one who's here in my room, but yeah, I understand how you can kind of get like that because it's And then she just fell asleep on the bed. She woke up the next day, still wearing her school uniform, and then she got up and went to the party in her uniform. She didn't even put regular clothes on. That's how out of it she is. She's on autopilot.
She just doesn't like really care or have like a
She
reason to
she's
like.
just kind of existing without
Yeah,
having a reason to exist.
which is basically what she said. And I like the visual that we get where she's like, are they passing me or am I passing them? Can they see me? Can they not? And it's just like everything goes still, and it's just like this like weird blue kind of color, dark color, and she's just like, walking by herself. Everything just kind of stops. I thought that was a cool little touch to make us like aware of how like alone and like just by herself she feels, and just like more of a sense of like how the world looks to her at the moment.
And then she was like, I am a void. I'm like, oh my god.
She's thinking some dark thoughts, man.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's pretty. She's feeling pretty low.
Because she's like, does
'Cause-
my existence even matter?
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
she's
damn.
yeah, because that's all she's thinking about. Because then she thinks about she's like, he's so weird. She's talking about Yuki. He's so weird. He asks me all these weird questions that you don't really need to know the answer to. Because she's like, I don't. Because she's basically saying that she doesn't really exist, like I said before. And she basically also says that's why I don't have any favorite things. I don't have a favorite color. I don't have a favorite place to go or favorite food or whatever. There's no point. All she senses is she has to do is not fail.
Yeah, that's something that she said at the beginning where she's like, I just have been doing what I've needed to do, what I've been told. That's just kind of how my life is, and no one ever asked me like, well, how do you feel? What about this? So
Yeah.
she kind of just like her mom basically like not didn't let her have like any sort of emotion or fun or
Yeah, cuz
time to
her
process like
yeah, cuz
what.
her mom basically told her well, you can't let Kakeru Manabe you can't let him get past you, because her mom is still of the mindset oh no, you're gonna be she's the heir, she's gonna be the one to take over and be the head of the family eventually, because she's the legitimate child. He's not, and he already told we already know that he was taken out of that part of the equation. She doesn't really have to worry about that anymore, in terms her mom doesn't really have to worry about it, I guess. But it's almost she's at the point where she's just like this now, this is who she is, just kind of going through the motions of everything. So when Yuki asks her these questions that she I don't have an answer. That's
Because
why
she really doesn't know.
she's I don't, I've never had to answer these kinds of questions before. I've never been had a reason for an answer. So that's why
No
she's
one
kind of he's weird.
No one's ever been like that considerate of her. It's just been like, do this, here you go. Just do it like this.
If she doesn't do it, if she fails or doesn't succeed like she's supposed to, that's when it gets not good. She'll probably get hit or something. And then of course she, when she does fail, or like it's not up to the standards as to like what she's supposed to be doing, that's also when she gets like violent and throws stuff, because it's like she's not functioning properly. Like there's an error,
Yeah.
and like the only way to like fix it, it's almost like rebooting the system, but after you kind of like hit the computer a couple times because you're mad at it, and then you reboot it and it's fine. It's like it never happened.
Yeah, the best way that she described it was she felt like a doll, but a doll that
Yeah.
wasn't like properly
She said
what's the word?
like a broken doll or something like that.
Yeah, like it's missing some pieces or something like that.
Yeah, like it's not fully put together, but it's still functioning. She's kind of like even like perpetuating that for herself out loud, where she's kind of telling herself like, yeah, you're pretty useless if you're not doing like A, B, and C.
Doesn't help when her mom calls her though.
Yeah, I know. And like that's how you can tell her mom doesn't live there, because like it's like her mom's just checking up on her. Her mom has other important things to take care of in the background.
She has other children. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it looks like she cares more about, I don't know, like again, we don't really know like her full story perspective because we just got a glimpse and that was it. So I'm sure we'll get that in season 3.
She at least kind of is like, because her mom tells her like, you haven't changed,
Mm-hmm.
you're still the same, but then Machi comments on how like, oh no, like Yuki's changed, like he's different from when I first like started watching him. Basically, she's like, I used to see, when I would see him, he would always look really lonely, even when he was amongst like a lot of people, but now he's actually like smiling, from like genuinely smiling, like he doesn't look lonely behind his smile, like he's actually changing, and I'm staying the same. But she is changing. I just don't think she really like notices it, because if she wasn't changing, she wouldn't have kept the leaf that he gave her and turned it into a bookmark. Like I feel like she's kind of doing these things like without like consciously thinking about it, because
Yeah.
once he sees that and he asks her about it, she's like, oh no, he's asking me weird questions again, and she's like really defensive about it. But then she's also like trying to figure out like what the answer is, because she says like, well, it's not like I treasured it or anything, I just turned it into a bookmark. And she's like she's like,
very,
maybe
like,
maybe I
tsundere
like
man.
maybe I like it, maybe I don't. And Yuki's just kind of confused, like, okay, so like what's your answer? Like, I don't understand. I mean, she was blushing really hard there.
But honestly, at that age, and even in middle school, that's how I was, and I was just like, yep, I feel that. Because it's kind of embarrassing, especially when you get caught like that you
Yeah.
kept a certain thing, and you're like, no, it's not what you think. Like, don't look at it.
I mean, she made it into a nice bookmark. Looks nice.
She did.
And
It doesn't help that Kakuro teases her about it, too.
Yeah,
and
he's
she's
like,
like
"Oh."
slamming on the table.
Because even Yuki's like just being really nice about it. He's like, oh, so like, is that the leaf that I gave you? She's like, no, it's not. Or maybe it is. And he's just like, oh, well, I mean, that's really cool that you kept it. Like, I'm glad you kept it. Like, thank you. Like, he tells her thank you, and she's just like, oh no. And then he's even like, oh, so I guess your favorite color is red because the leaf you kept, and then the little ribbon on the bookmark is also red. So now I know what your favorite color is. And then she's like, oh my gosh, he like remembered. Like, she's so like surprised by that. Like, he remembered. She like never thought that anybody would like remember that.
It just goes back to like her mom too. I feel like it circles back to the mom and her lifestyle, because the mom has to like hammer in there like, oh, you're so plain, no wonder you don't have friends, no wonder nobody likes you, nobody wants to be around a plain girl. And it's just like, yeah, if you're feeding your kid like that, they're gonna believe it.
Yeah, the only reason she's plain and doesn't have a favorite anything is because you're telling her that she is, and that all that stuff like doesn't matter.
It looks like one of it has an idea what's happening too.
Yeah, but he's like okay with it. Like, he's like kind of encouraging it.
Yeah, it was just so funny how he's like, Yuki, you airhead, you can't say things like that so casually.
Even though Yuki's just like, dude, I don't understand. What are you talking about? Like, I'm just asking her a question.
He's just being sincere and nice.
Yeah, he's just like, I mean, like in his defense, like, he's just trying to get to know her, because he doesn't know anything about her. If they're gonna be on the student council together, it's kind of like, I kind of have to know like who you are and how you function, so that way we can like work together and like do the best we can with the things that we have to do for school, but also so, like, if we all hang out and stuff, like, you want to make sure everybody's cool with what you're doing, like when they're deciding to like go to this restaurant together, because she's even like, no, I don't want to go, but he's still like, here's the info for you. I know you don't have a cell phone, so just take this. And she still goes, even though she says, like, I'm not gonna go.
He's just trying to make sure she isn't, like, left out either.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just, like, a little tiny group, so it's, like, a little... I don't want her to feel left out.
Yeah, plus, like, he knows more than anybody, like, what she's probably feeling, like, in terms of, like, feeling left out. Or, like, really lonely, or, like, because he's probably, like, given that same answer, too, before to people. Because, you know, before, he was kind of, like, afraid of making friends, because it's, like, his fear is, like, oh, no, it's gonna happen again. Like, they're gonna get their memories erased, and I'm not gonna have friends again. So I have to kind of stay away. But now he's, like, more comfortable with, like, where he is.
Open.
Yeah, and more open. So he's just kind of, like, trying to help her get out of that shell also, like trying to show her, like, no, it's okay, like, people like us who deal with these kinds of feelings and everything, like, we can have friends and, like, go out and do things and have a fun time together and, like, not be alone all the time and not feel lonely. Also, because, you know, he's just kind of, he's curious about her.
He's just a good boy all around, man.
Right. Like, he's just not being nice. Not for the sake of being nice, because he's just a nice person. And he's promised himself that he's gonna, like, kind of take control over his actions and words.
Which, speaking of that, that basically ends up the first part of the episode. The second part, we're back at New Year's.
I know, I can't believe it's already New Year's, man.
I was like, God damn. I was like, I feel like we just witnessed the first one, but I'm like,
I know.
That makes sense. It's already, they're in their second year. It's already like the second New Year's.
Yeah, it's been a whole year now.
But it's like, what the fuck? Where did the time go?
I know, like, the time's just going by really fast. So basically, Toru and Kyo are gonna hang out at Shisho's place. Because they can't go to the banquet. So they're just gonna chill, and Rin's also there because she's not gonna go.
Everyone's at the banquet. Which is surprising.
Because even Yuki decides to go.
Poor Yuki, but that must have taken a lot of courage and strength, man. But then again, it just shows you, like, how much he's changed over the past few years.
Just, like, the past few months, I guess.
To the point where Akito was, like, misinterpreting the whole thing until Yuki's like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna blame anybody anymore for feeling this way.
Yeah. Like, he even says, like, I'm not gonna blame my mom or Kyo.
He's like, I forgive you, Akito.
I forgive you. And Akito's like, Nani? So then Yuki gets hit with, like, a vase or, like, a pitcher. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks. Good thing that Kurino was, like, watching it all happen. He was like, oh shit, because he knew that
I know,
something
like,
bad was about to happen.
Some shit was gonna go down. So, I mean, like, he didn't stop it from happening, but he stopped Akito from going, like, batshit crazy.
Like, a little bit further and, like, injuring poor
Because,
boy.
because, I mean, Yuki got, like, a cut on his forehead, but he's okay. It wasn't, like, a deep wound or anything, so.
Yeah.
Mina must
Fucking Ayame, man.
I know, he's like, oh, Yuki!
I'm carrying him all princess style.
I know. And Yuki's like, what the hell is, like, what is wrong with you? But he even apologizes to Hattori and is like, you know, I kind of blamed you when I was younger, and I shouldn't have.
Like, I get it, though.
It's not your fault. Like, I get why you had to do what you had to do. Like, it wasn't under your control. And then Hattori's like, it's fine.
Poor Hattori. He was carrying that guilt, too.
Yeah, because even Shigure was like, why, you feel like you owe him something?
Poor Hattori. He doesn't deserve any of it.
We missed his dance, though. I forgot that when they do the New Year's thing, like, they do a dance together, like, when they're, like, passing on, like, to like the next year. It's like the next animal. Like they do, like, both of them, like the previous animal and the new animal, like they do a dance together. I forgot that was mentioned in the manga, but I don't think you see it in the manga either. I think they mentioned it in season 1, but I can't remember.
Yeah, they do mention it in season 1, but not like details or anything. Just like, oh, like this is what happens, and
yeah, like I totally forgot that that's happened till like you see like Hattori is like taking off like the clothes or whatever, like the little accessories that he's wearing, and they're like, oh, that was such a great dance, and he's like, I don't want to do that again.
And then Shigure dug his own grave by mentioning Mayu.
I know, yeah. Because Hattori's like, why did you guys like get back together? Like, are you just trying to like hint that? And then like Shigure's like, oh no, that's
he's
not
like,
what I mean
whoopsies.
Because even Hattori like kind of got surprised, like,
he's like, wait a minute,
huh, please figure it out. And then Shigure had that weird fucking moment where he's like, I wish Akito would just like fuck everyone up or whatever the hell he says.
That I was like,
looking so sus.
The minute that, oh my gosh, he has like just a mask on the whole time basically until like Hatsuharu leaves, and he basically just drops the act.
He's got some sinister things going on behind the scenes. It was really cute though, seeing Hatsuharu go see Rin though when she was asleep. That was cute.
I know. And then Toru and Kyo talking about like his childhood days.
Yeah.
And how because Shisho at the beginning was like, oh yeah, you know, Rin and Kyo don't hate each other.
But they're not on good terms either.
And then Toto's like, huh? Like,
Yeah,
that
she's
doesn't
like,
make
what?
sense.
What? But then Kyo explains like, oh no, it's because when we were growing up, she would like come over here a lot, and she
Because
would like,
he was just so kind.
yeah, he was just so kind. So like, I get kind of like jealous because she would kind of like take his attention away.
Just like, that's pretty freaking
Just
cute.
like, oh my god, that's adorable. But also like, grow up, Kyo, because it shows that they would have like, they would just like stare each other down when they were like.
He's like, they would stare at each other for 15 minutes, and you can see Haru like in the background, just like watching,
just, like watching them, like whatever.
That was pretty funny, man.
And then Momiji gave Kureno the copy of the damn play that was so cute. And he's like, here, it's a present from Toru. And then it says, watch when you're by yourself. And he's just kind of like, okay.
Speaking of your boy, we did see a glimpse of, like, I guess high school him, is what I can assume.
Oh,
Based
yeah.
on the uniform. And someone, you know, yelling, like, don't go. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna get his backstory
Oh, man.
next episode. Pretty much confirmed, because, like, the damn end card.
Which is, like, something that Mia has been, like, waiting all season for.
I've been waiting forever. I've been waiting for this forever.
Because every episode that we would see Kureno, she'd be like, oh, is it coming? Is it gonna be next? And then it's like, no, not yet.
It's like,
Not
no,
yet.
it's like, nope, fuck you, we're not gonna show you his backstory. Like, why not? So I'm
But there
I'm
is
excited.
a certain manga image that I've seen that, like, go around, and I was like, that's interesting, which I will discuss
Yeah,
in the
you
next
need
episode.
to. Yeah, I honestly think they're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger for this season.
They will, just like they
Like,
did last season,
it's
where they were
gonna-
like,
It's
oh,
gonna
we
be.
feel something coming.
It's gonna be a cliffhanger like that. We're all literally gonna be like, "Fuck you!" Like, why would you leave it there? Like, you got y'all. I swear, if they're ending this season on Kureno's backstory, oh my god. At least I'm gonna get some good Kureno content, because I just love this character so much. Like, second best boy for me after Yuki. I like all the sad, depressed ones.
You like them a little sad.
Yeah, I like them a little sad. It's because I'm a little sad all the time, so they also have to be a little sad.
Oh no.
I'm a little emo kid still at heart, okay? Like, I'm always a little bit sad.
So next week is the finale. So if you guys want to hear our thoughts on the finale next week, head over to Mia's channel.
Yes. Man, now we have to do a different series after next week.
But we shall discuss that in another time.
Yes, at another time.
Anyway, I think we are done discussing this
Yeah.
week's Fruits Basket
Yes.
episode. So without further ado, you guys, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy out there, and we shall see you over on Mia's channel for the finale. Bye!
Bye.